Hello, hello LinkedIn, hello YouTube. Apologies for the slight delay to do this live. I've had some technical issues with the broadcasting platform, and I'm gonna invite you to my live. Daniel O'Connor, who is here with us today. Sorry, we had a few technical issues, but hopefully we are live now on both LinkedIn and YouTube. So, guys, first of all, I'm Virginia Cinquemani. If you don't know me, I'm the director and founder of Green Gorilla Consultants Ltd, which is a training and coaching company focused on sustainability professionals and empowering them to make a difference and make an impact. Now, I had the pleasure to not meet physically yet, but virtually, Daniel, maybe last year or something.
I don't remember.
Yeah. But Daniel, do you want to?
I do remember, Virginia. It was when you were writing the book and I got in touch with you for some advice.
Could be, yes. So we spoke about writing books, so that's true. So today, Daniel and I are going to talk about the value of mentorship and coaching in progressing your sustainability career. And this is the last appointment with my lives for 2020. And so we will start again in 2021 with some other interesting topic of the kind. So Daniel, who are you?
I am I'm a father, I'm a son, I'm a brother, I'm a friend, I'm a husband. I'm Daniel. I run a website called Warp-It, which is for matching up surplus furniture and equipment in large organizations. That's my main sort of focus in the business world is driving reuse and making reuse of equipment and furniture normal. So extending the lifespan of products. So my whole background's around kind of waste management and processes.
Mm-hmm. So people will wonder, so why are you here talking to me about mentorship?
Oh yeah,
I mean, a little side hustle, don't you?
Yeah. So I'm an ideas person, and I get loads of ideas all the time. And you know, like a lot of people, you know, I'm in the shower and I've got another great idea that's going to save the world and all that sort of stuff. And to build a business, you know, a successful business or any project really, you know, you need to be able to focus on one thing and do that really, really well and stay focused on the job at hand and your action plan and your list of tasks. So having ideas that distract can be quite debilitating sometimes. So in 2011, when I launched Warp-It, my first challenge was like stopping all these other ideas so I could get Warp-It sorted out. And I'm going to go around the houses a little bit on this answer. And so I really managed to get on top of that. And then and I focused my creativity on the idea side into solutions with Warp-It, which was a big learning thing for me. And anyway, Warp-It kind of started to mature and have a real impact out there. And I was really good at keeping things focused on Warp-It until the report that came out from the IPCC that said we've got 12 years left to kind of turn things around. Yeah. And everyone's got to focus on, like, you know, fixing everything they can. I'm talking big picture and little picture there. And at that point, I was like, well, I've got all these great ideas that I think are valid, but I'm putting them to bed, you know. And at the time, if I had a good idea, I would just like take a note and stash it away. And I think, oh, maybe I'll visit that someday. And so that was November 2018, I think. At that point, I was like, right, well, okay, Warp-It's doing okay. We've got a team. It's running great. It's got this natural momentum going to it already. So I'm going to allow myself 25 minutes a day to work on new things. And the first new thing I worked on was a thing called Sustainability Entrepreneurs, which is a community for anybody starting sustainability businesses. And that kind of flopped quite quickly. Within about sort of 3-4 months, I realized this needs way more work than I thought it does, whatever the grammar is. And then so I put that to bed, but I learned a few things from that. And then the second idea was Sustainability Mentors. So I thought I at the time, and I always had struggled to find a mentor for what I was doing. You know, I was a person who didn't really have, well, much proper business experience. And I was working in the waste management sector, so I knew my way around that. But then it drifted into procurement. I didn't know much about procurement really. So I was always searching for mentors, but they were never like, it was always really embarrassing to start off with. approaching someone and going, look, I need help. That's the big thing, right? Because asking for help is like really hard for me anyway, and for lots of people, And so asking for help is the first barrier. Second barrier was finding a suitable match, because, you can meet somebody and you get into this relationship, and sometimes it's hard to back out of it because you it's not right, and there's loads of things going on that makes it really awkward, especially if you're kind of British and you're like, you're really reserved and all that sort of stuff. So I was struggling with that, and I was like, wouldn't it be really nice if there was a platform where I could just search mentors who are in my field in sustainability, and I could see them like eBay, and I could actually make a choice, or an informed choice, about who they were, what they did, what they can offer me before I actually started that relationship. And in Warbit, we work with a couple of software guys, so we know a way around software systems and stuff like that. So I thought, I don't want to waste any more time on an idea that might not be valid, because I learned that with sustainability entrepreneurs. I just piled straight into sustainability entrepreneurs, and I didn't collect data as I went about how this service might help people and how effective it can be, and how if it's a valid service at all. So the first step with Sustainability Mentors was I've just built a web page one weekend, and on the web page it was like, Sustainability Mentors is a platform where you can find a mentor or a mentee. It does this, this, and this. And I just thought, I thought I'd get like 20, 30 people interested once I put it on my LinkedIn. And in my own poor little mind, I thought, I'll just click their data and I'll match them on a spreadsheet and I'll send them introductions. And I thought I'll be doing a good job for other people, but I'll also pick up a mentor for myself.
Yeah.
And I had, in that first weekend, I think it was 250 came in, and I was like, whoa, that's quite a bit. So I thought, I'm going to have to get a bit of software for this. So I then went out and got some software and built this back-end platform quite quickly and cheaply, so that within about 3 weeks, we had a fully functioning kind of marketplace. Yeah. Where we got 1,300 people on there now. And at the last official count was like 200 paired partners. And you're one of them.
Including me. I thought, okay, from my point of view as a mentor, so I wanted to, and we've been talking about this because we want to take sustainability mentors to a different level now, don't we? And I'm involved as well, which is great. But when I saw that idea and Daniel sharing that idea, I thought, actually, this would be fantastic. I would love to share some of the knowledge I have, because I'm a coach, and I'm going to explain the difference in a minute between coaching and mentorship, because I think people are sometimes not clear about this. And they're key figures in your professional life, I would say, to really find success quickly. But for me, it was so intuitive. Say, okay, if we got a matchmaking if we're looking to find, our soulmate, why can't we have the same for mentors? Because as you said, lots of people are actually, they're shy, or they don't know exactly who to ask, or you feel like you are bothering people. Well, if you have already people ready to give back because you already received and you want to give back, then that's perfect. And I think that's why, you exploded quite quickly, didn't it?
Yeah.
And I can see some comments here. Says, I love the platform. So we go, unfortunately, I can't see the name because LinkedIn sometimes blocks the names. They say, I love the platform, met some fantastic mentors out there. Perfect. You got proof there, right? Perfect. Thank you so much. And yeah, lovely idea and everything. So mentorship then. I would like to spend 1 second talking about the difference between mentorship and coaching, because I think people get confused, and it can be similar, okay? And I find it that all the time, because I'm coaching mainly people in my industry in sustainability. So people expect me to give out advice and draw upon my own resources from my own experience in the field to help them progress. But that's mentorship. When you are telling people or helping people finding their way in an industry that you know about. So you are probably more senior, you've been in the industry for a decade or more, then you're ready to be a mentor because you can pass on that knowledge. While coaches help you think. So that's the main difference. Coaches don't provide advice as such, but they ask you the right questions for you to think about your own solutions and to your own, to your own problems. And I found that process incredibly illuminating, because at the moment I'm going through an accreditation program to become an accredited a coach, but I've been doing it for a couple of years already. And when I managed to step back and allow people to think, the solutions they come up with are so much more powerful that I can suggest to them. Of course, that's different. I would say, perhaps, I don't know whether you agree in that sense, coaches and mentors are compatible, and you could have mentors for, like you said, you needed someone specifically in the waste industry. Then obviously you look for that because you want to understand an industry you don't know much about. While coaches can help you, say, when you are, at a crossroad in your career and you say, okay, I really don't know what to do next. Can you help me? And that way is quite powerful as well. Of course, in the work I do, I combine both when people ask me. But that's the main difference. And I wanted just to clarify, because sometimes it's a little bit confusing.
Thank you. I didn't know, really.
There you go. I recently had a great meeting with my mentor who I found via the platform. That's another testimonial. There you go. Thank you, Natalia. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
I have two great mentees actually in the platform as well, and we enjoy spending time together with that. So then I had this idea of the Sustainability Mentors platform, but that came because of a genuine need that you had in your own life.
Personal need, yeah.
So what prompted you to find someone? So what was the value of finding someone, and what was the difficulty? You already mentioned, your own, self-consciousness. You didn't want to go out and look for people, but what happened when you did?
Yeah, so for me, being a mentee and getting a mentor, straight away it is trying to look at things with a different viewpoint. You get stuck in your own little cubicle, and you're going down that way, and you just get programmed into the one way of thinking, and that's no good if you want to grow, because you want to be like constantly like growing your awareness of processes, procedures, new things, and new ways of thinking. Have you thought of this? Have you thought of that? To solve problems. So it gives you that new perspective on a problem you might be facing. And that new perspective is coming from a completely different experience level and background, often more experienced, obviously, sometimes even in a different sector, or same sustainability sort of vertical, but a different sector. So that cross-fertilization of ideas, experience brings new solutions to problems that you're trying to work out. That's the main one. Another one is, and this is like gold, it takes us personally time, energy to build networks, build relationships with people. And you've got to work out if someone fits with your objectives, and you've got to trust people. And so we build this network up naturally around us as we go through our lives. Yeah. So, you've got your network, I've got my network, all these people have got their own network, families, friends, colleagues, peers, all around, online, offline, whatever. So these are the people who help you in your daily tasks, right? When you meet a mentor and you describe a problem to a mentor, that mentor, first of all, might have already had that problem, knows how to fix it. But more likely, is that they know someone who can, so they can just open the door and go, look, that trust thing's already done. I trust this person. I trust this person. I'm going to put you both together. You can rely that I trust you both. You can rely on my judgment, and you can have a fruitful relationship. So you don't need you miss out on all that rapport building that takes time. So it's the introductions to open doors. There's an expression for it anyway. To open doors to new spheres where you can do your work is massive as well.
So do you reckon you need to have different mentors at different times of your career? What is the best time to engage with a mentor, do you think, from your own experience of what you've seen in the platform?
Yeah, it's a great question, and I saw someone put something similar on LinkedIn yesterday. So for me, the realization that I need help is the first thing. You know what I mean? Because I got to like 45, 4 before I realized, bloody hell, I can't actually work this problem out. You know, so like that's a massive realization, and I'm still really struggling to ask for help of people.
Yeah.
So that's and you know, that's the first thing, and people want to help you. You know, so anyone who's listening to this live or recorded, like people want to help you on your mission, right? Yeah. People do. And I saw an amazing quote by comedian Chris Rock. I just saw it yesterday, and it was like when Chris Rock was really poor and he was just building his comedian profile. He said he used to break down on the motorway because he didn't have any fuel, and he noticed that if he just had his thumb out to ask for help, people wouldn't stop. But if he was already pushing his car, people would actually pull over and help him push his car.
Yeah.
So
they need to see you struggling.
Yeah. So when people say that you're already trying to fix it yourself, but you know, people help you. People want to help. So that's the first thing, right? So that can happen. That light bulb of illumination can happen at any time. And I wish it happened to me when I was like 16, but it didn't.
Yeah.
It happened 44, you know, because there's loads of times when I look back when I was struggling, and if I could have went, I can't do this, you know, because you go to university, you get your degree, you do all this stuff, and you're like, there's a culture where you're kind of like, you're supposed to know something if someone asks you, you know, so that gets programmed. And if you don't know, you kind of blag it, you know. I can always remember being at my first job, and my boss's boss took me on a car ride to this conference. And after the conference, he was asking us about what I thought and stuff like that. And I was speaking, but it was almost like I was telling him what he wanted to hear, you know, and I wasn't like speaking my truth about it. What I thought was it wasn't very, what they were saying wasn't true. And I didn't want to upset him. So there's all these weird paradigms at work where you're like, you know, you're supposed to act a certain way and all that sort of thing. So yes, I'm going around the houses again, but like answer the question, you know, the mentorship is needed when you realize it, when you realize you need help, and you've got to trust to know that there's people out there who want to help you. So then you've got to then you've got to try and find them and keep going, because the whole thing about mentorship is, you know, it stops you go down a cul-de-sac where you might waste time, or you might waste energy, or you might waste something else, some other resource that's limited. So the mentor can help you prevent that. I'm not saying there's no value in going down that cul-de-sac and learning a lesson. So there's still a bit of a play, there's still a bit of a call there, but the mentor can help you like progress much quicker than you can on your own. And obviously, like there's this whole time thing now whereby, you know, it's a race against time. We live and work in a system that's eating itself. You know, we've got to work out how we can stop eating ourselves. You know, so
fast-paced for sure. And I think you're right. I think it is worth going through some difficulties and maybe starting working things out yourself. But there is a point in which you definitely can do with at least another opinion. You know, you don't have to do what they say, but having that discussion, thinking through, you know, maybe having that sounding board, thinking and talking things through with someone who got more experience, or like we said in the case of coaching, maybe they know what questions to ask you to take out that truth from yourself. So it's a slightly different process, but you don't have to accept whatever, you know, a coach or a mentor tell you. You can definitely work it out yourself, but I think there's a lot of value in hearing someone who's been there already, and you know, they've done that and they bought the t-shirt, as you say, and say, okay, maybe I shouldn't really invest my time in this particular field or in this particular thing. Or, you know, I remember having a mentor, which never was official, but when I worked at BRE, it was a lovely director who would spend time with me, having like coffee sometimes, and I realized now that he was actually mentoring me. Without really telling me. But it was fantastic, because now and then it's like, Guy, I really have a problem. Do you mind? Let's go for coffee. So we will go for coffee, and he would just tell him what he would have done in my shoes, or he would just say, why don't you, I don't know, talk to HR, or, you know, speak to your director and see what they think. And things that you might already know yourself in a way, but it's the validation from someone else as well. They say, well, actually, because especially I say, on the subject of timing, especially at the beginning of your career, unless you have a specific problem like you did, at the beginning of your career, you really don't have that confidence perhaps to take big decisions by yourself, or you find in a genuine new position that you don't know what to do. And so it is so reassuring to have someone with experience that can help you there. And I love, so going back to Sustainability Mentors, the network, I love the fact that there is this pair it up, so you don't actually have to, you overcome the barrier of asking people in a way, because you know that those people are already there to help. And there is a beautiful, generosity in the mentors that want to share their knowledge, their backgrounds. They just want to give back. It's the genuinely, I mean, at the moment is completely free. We'll see what happens in the future, but at the moment it's completely free. So people can come in, they pair up, and they have great discussions like we saw here in the chat. Some people have already used the platform. I use the platform as a mentor, and I love it. I don't know. There is also a big thing for mentors and people that might want to become mentors that are listening right now. It's about giving a little bit of your knowledge and experience, but it's also about getting in touch with, I don't know, the younger generations, for example. I mean, I'm not 95, but, the the graduates, the millennials, it seems like a different word from me, but it's only a few years younger than me, perhaps. But it's great because they have that fresh knowledge, different interests, and different knowledge of platforms or systems or whatever that is. And you learn as well. You'd never stop learning. So it's actually a great two-way, sort of relationship, don't you think?
Totally. And the big thing is that you mentioned some really interesting stuff there. But for me, being a mentor to a mentee, right? And it's a bit cliched, but you're giving something back. Yeah, you're taking all your value all the mistakes you've made, all the cul-de-sacs you've been down, and you're helping someone avoid that stuff. So just in the act of giving, you feel more valuable, and so what I say is like you're unleashing the power of the mistakes that you've made, because there's no point making a mistake and keeping it to yourself, because that's all right. If you don't share your mistake, then no one else learns and only you learn, and then that dies with you, So totally maximize the power of your mistakes, because mistakes are lessons, towards your end goal. You're unleashing that whole power, and that can be that they see many times getting the impact out of that one mistake. And another thing for me as well is if you're feeling a bit down, by helping somebody else, it lifts you. You know what I mean? And so it's like if you're having a rough day and you suddenly have a mentee you can talk to about whatever. Then you come out of it and you go, oh, so glad I passed on that, and it just makes you feel like it gives you a boost, So there are some also. I mean, it's very mentor goodwill loaded, right? But there's loads of really good benefits for the mentor as well.
Accessing new people as well, if they're looking for staff, for example.
Yeah. Imagine if you got a really good mentee who was didn't have a job, but you had some.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You can go the whole expensive HR process.
And you know them already a little bit, so you know what to expect. Now, what do you think specifically in sustainability this is important? Now, there is no right or wrong answer there, because came up from me right now, this question. So what do you think in sustainability specifically is an important thing?
Well, I think obviously sustainability's got this time limit. It's not a time limit, but we're trying to slow down some deterioration. Yeah. So there's a big rush on, really, and everyone's aligned around that mission. So everyone on that platform is aligned around that mission. So so because everyone's on the same mission, there's a way more understanding of everybody. There's way more rapport already there, and everyone feels like, right, let's do this. We've got something to go at. Let's crack on, So that's why I think it really suits sustainability. But I was thinking about this after the question on LinkedIn yesterday, and mentorship applies in really every part of your life that you think is important. Sustainability very easily bleeds into self-care, and self-care is at the heart of sustainability. Disconnection from nature, consumption, trying to fill a void that's here by buying a new pair of Nikes or whatever it might be. So it's like it really bleeds in very well into self-care. And another thing about self-care is, if you can't look after yourself, then you can't be your best at sustainability. And so it can bleed into any part of your life, being having a mentor, I guess. But it's especially important with sustainability.
I think from my point of view, and the reason why I got into mentorship and coaching is because I see that sustainability is into everything. You said self-care, but also everything, right? Yeah. Clothes and buildings and food and, infrastructure, whatever. So you can apply it to everything. And that confuses people. Obviously, sometimes, graduates, we got a lot more graduates these days, for example, coming out of university with a generic sustainability degree, for example, they literally don't know what to do next. They don't want to, like you say, to make a mistake because it's just overwhelming, You can go in any direction. Renewable energy, there is a lot out there. So having a word with someone who can either make you think really deeply about your strengths, your values, your skills, and that's what a coach would do, like really think deeply, okay, this is what you bring to the table. Perhaps, let's explore what sectors in sustainability you can use them to the maximum. For example, if you are great at people's relationship, you might think about marketing or PR, and that's, a growing industry in sustainability marketing, and the like, or if you're very scientific and analytical, then, you might want to consider something more data-driven. So that's what a coach would do. But a mentor can actually help you as well in that sense, because they've been there. Maybe they know the sector really well. So they can help you navigate that ocean of options. And I feel at the moment, like you said, everything is speeding up. We need to find solutions pretty quickly. It's not point to going around in circles and spending 10 years trying to find what's ideal for you, if actually within a few sessions, someone with more experience or, able to make you think in the right way can help you get there really quick. So I think that's, that's my view anyway. And that's why I started doing it, because I realized there was a lot of confusion around.
Yeah, and you touch on it, like, the answer's actually inside everyone already, and it's the job of the mentor or the coach to pull that out with your sort of creativity around your questions. Exactly.
Now, guys, do you want to ask some questions to us, to Daniel in particular? By the way, is there a link that we can share for Sustainability Mentors if people want to sign up for the platform?
Yeah. Just getting it now. I'll put it in the chat.
I don't think you can, but you can try. Can you say that out loud, and then we can put it perhaps in the comments later?
So sustainabilitymentor.com. Singular, sustainabilitymentor.com.
Okay, perfect. So if you want to sign up as a mentor or as a mentee, take a look. Great platform, great discussions, like people said already. Great value, really, at the moment is full value. But can we share just a little bit of what we're thinking of doing in the future? So actually, no, what is the aim of it? Why do we want to improve Sustainability Mentors?
Well, we want to make sustainability mentorship normal. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that it's in every workplace. Yeah, and that's as simple as that, really. It's got to be accepted as everyone has a mentor.
Companies should see the value of that. So allowing, especially newbies in the company to speed up the progress, so they don't have to spend a lot of time training them or finding their feet. So yeah, companies is
And so obviously the corporates have the most impact on sustainability. Yeah, it's the infrastructure that they work within that causes all the problems. The householder is just at the end of the line doing what the householder does. I don't believe it's a corporate issue, right? Really, it's a system issue. And so for corporates to adopt a sustainability mentor program, where they can upskill anyone in the company, either from within the company or between companies or even between sectors, is going to be a really nice twist on normal sustainability training, and probably much quicker and more better value. So how I see it would be that you might have a sustainability mentor program within a large central government like the UK, for example, and you might have similar programs running in healthcare or universities or the construction sector or whatever, and you can have these either existing as in pillars within the same company, or also between companies and also between sectors, where you've got CEOs mentoring middle management, you've got middle management mentoring other middle management from different sectors, and everyone's getting real value on a mentorship kind of like relationship, rather than a set training program.
I was going to say, actually, you mentioned training, which is another thing that obviously we do at Green Gorilla, but I think everyone has its place. I think training is important when you want to acquire the basic knowledge of something.
Yeah. And make sure you know all that knowledge as well, not just
much more about the experiential element of it. Yeah. So how do you apply that knowledge into your real life? And chances are a mentor has been already through that, like we said before. Yeah. And again, coaching is slightly different. It will make you think about you and how you would think about a solution. How would you personally use that training, that mentorship, and use it in your own life? So I think everything, training, coaching, mentorship, all have a place in people's life, in sustainability professionals. And by the way, a little sales pitch here. If you want to speak about it with me, just feel free, get in touch. I'm always happy to have a chat. I'm not selling anything, but I'm always happy to have a chat and maybe advise people whether they would need training, mentorship, coaching, or whatever, or a combination of them, or nothing at all. God knows. So Carola is asking, which platform is it? So it's actually you just go to sustainabilitymentor.com.
Right.
That's right. And you will see, and you can just sign up and try and find your mentor or your mentee. All right. Anything else, Daniel, that we haven't covered that you'd like to talk about?
Ooh, you mentioned something earlier about like unofficial mentors, and like that the value of that shouldn't be underestimated. Everyone's got unofficial mentors around, and especially now, with online, you get influence from everywhere. So, you might not think you've got a mentor, but you actually have. You've got all these people in your life who help you along your way. So I think by bringing awareness to that as well, it helps you integrate any learnings that they're passing to you, even though it's on an unofficial basis.
That's so true. I mean, people sometimes don't put labels on themselves, but I think, thinking about my corporate days, that person had such an influence on me, and positive, and even their attitude. I think these are things that have to be not underestimated. He was a happy guy. He was such a driving force and so enthusiastic that really helped me seeing this as a exciting thing to do and to. So.
And it's about like remembering throughout your day that we're all out here on our own little missions, but it's about taking time out for other people and actually sharing asking them what's happening, what's going on, what you're struggling with, and then listening. And so one thing I'd like to say to people as well is even it doesn't matter where you are on your journey in sustainability, you can always mentor somebody. Even if you just graduated from uni, you can still mentor first and second years. Even if you just got to university, you can still mentor kids coming out of school. So don't undersell yourself. You've made conclusions on your journey about certain things that you can pass on to others and be a mentor. Be a mentor regardless of where you are in your career, because there's a lot when you're first starting out that you feel like I haven't got nothing of value. I've got nothing of value. No one really appreciate what I'm doing. So I'm right at the start. Not true. You can always be a mentor.
It's so true. Even, speaking to primary school kids about sustainability and inspire them, that's fantastic. And that is a way of being a mentor for the younger generation. So you're absolutely right. And another thing that I tell my, graduates, people that I speak to that are just finished, that they feel exactly that, like, oh, but I'm new to the field, I don't know.
Yeah.
But bring a fresh pair of eyes. I always say, have a fresh perspective, and your experience can come from other sectors or other parts of your life, not necessarily from sustainability, but you can apply learning. It's, cross skills, and, you can apply that to sustainability, and absolutely you can inspire people that are younger than you. And I think that would be fantastic. We all need to give each other a helping hand, don't we?
Really?
At the moment, we all need to pull in the same direction. Okay, so I think we had a lovely discussion, a lovely chat. So guys, if you have any more questions, actually you can, I'm sure Daniel won't mind linking with you on LinkedIn.
Yeah, absolutely. Just send me a connection request, Daniel Bede O'Connor. I'm maxed out on LinkedIn. Stopped me sending requests. I don't know why. I might have spammed a few people, but
oh, wow. So what have you done? What have you done? Gosh. Yeah. And if you guys want to speak to me about your own situation, I know I have a couple of people I still have to respond to that send me that request is, but I will get there eventually. I've been a bit snowed under in the last few weeks. Oh, we actually have, I think, a question. You can have different mentoring, actually it's a comment. You can have different mentoring experiences and schedules with your mentors. I have two fantastic mentors on the platform. One is available for me weekly, while another one monthly. They both give equally exceptional mentoring experiences, and I'm very thankful to them for all their guidance and support they give me, as their insights really widen my horizons. Thank you for your continuous support. Fabulous. Can we use this as a testimonial, please? Because this is really good. For sustainability mentors. No, honestly, guys, we need all of you to help us as well, because this can become the next big thing. We want to help as many people as we can with sustainability mentors. I think there's a lot of value, like you can see. So if we can use that as a testimonial, that would be fantastic. Please do get in touch. I will. Okay, another one. Sorry, I wanted to close, but we got more questions. Maybe the mentor helps you find. Oh, C. So it was in Italian. Sorry, I can't see your name, I'm afraid. So C makes me think you are Italian. Thank you. But thank you very much. Maybe the mentor helps you find the way, and the coach helps you walk the road. Wayfinding. Yeah, that's true. Thanks for sharing your ideas and experience. Amit, as usual, you are so insightful. Thank you so much for that. I like that, and I will reuse it. Find way versus help you walk the road. Yeah, perfect. Okay, sounds good.
Well, Virginia, thank you very much. Can I just say that, you're a bit of a mentor to me. So all the work you've done on LinkedIn over the last 10 months, has really helped me in my mission. So I really appreciate that. And you're so brave doing these live things. These are you're so courageous. So
you can see that. I don't look, I got, a clock above me, I stopped caring about my background. My hair is crazy today, but I love doing this.
You're doing great work. You're doing absolutely fantastic work. So thank you for that.
Thank you for joining me today, Daniel. Thank you guys for joining us in this live, or if you're watching on repeat. I've seen hundreds of people watching the repeats of this, so I'm super happy, because this is really what we want, just sharing the knowledge and contributing. And so thank you so much, and I will see you in 2021. And so happy Christmas and happy New Year. I'm sure it will be a better year than this one, so let's hope for that.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Bye.